The Bobcats' early exit from the postseason last year wasn't quite the way that they wanted to end their season.
No, not the way, especially the hands in the first round by the Drayton Valley Thunder. But the Cats are putting that all aside and starting a new chapter as the new season begins tonight. Matt Schumont has more.
Yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking last year when we lost that game in Drayton Valley, but you know, we got to learn from it this season and move on.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting after the kind of season we had and the team that we had, and we were predicted to go a lot further, and we just made a lot of mental errors and everything kind of just snowballed on us.
Moving forward, the Bobcats began camp with 80 players, giving the coaching staff different options on how they wanted to make their team.
You know, anytime that you have you know, depth in your camp like we had, I mean, it means that there's going to be tough decisions, and anytime there's tough decisions to make, it means that you've got a strong camp throughout.
I think we brought in a lot of bigger guys, definitely some guys that can score, and the team looks like a very hard-working team this season.
The Cats lost a lot of players in the offseason. Leaders like Tanner Erickson, Kyle Harris, Corey Chisholm, and Topher Flanagan all moving on. But that hasn't stopped Knight and Marcineau from stepping up and filling that void.
I just feel that you gotta be open to the younger guys, and I've went through experiences, and so have the other veterans that maybe I haven't personally, but the young guys need help with and can cope with and ask us questions about and stuff like that.
Definitely want to step up offensively. Like, I expect more for myself personally, but I think everybody else should as well, right? I'm a year older, more skilled, faster, so I definitely want to lead the offense that way.
The Orange and Black were one of the top teams in all of Canada, finishing 10th in the CJHL rankings. They also broke a team record in wins with 38 and finished 3rd in the North Division. Despite such a great year, the team feels they can get back to that same position, if not better, this season.
I obviously have high expectations for our group. We have a solid group. We have depth throughout the group, and so I mean, you know, at this point, I think that it'll be up to the players in the room, and you know, your group is only as strong as the leaders in the group.
I definitely see the potential in the team this year, but like Coach said, we got to take it one step at a time and focus on it now, the shift, the second, so just move on from there.
With the regular season just hours away, Parent and the rest of the Border City bunch are ready to get the new season going.
I'm ecstatic to get moving forward. It's great to be out in practice now. You know, you're starting to feel like a hockey coach again.
I've been itching for it for 6 months now, so I'm personally pretty excited. Had fun in the exhibition, but I'm ready for the regular season.
Been looking forward to it for a while. Got wagons out of the way, and yeah, strictly hockey now.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, sticking with the Bobcats, the Evening of Champions was held last night at the Lloyd X Stockade, and the event, well, keeps on growing. Over 700 people were in attendance. Former Toronto Maple Leafs Wendell Clark, Gary Lehman, and Russ Courtnall were the guest speakers. There was a silent auction with autographed jerseys, framed pictures, and a replica Stanley Cup rings of Mark Messier's and Mario Lemieux's. Not too bad. The money raised helps the Bobcats offset the expenses during the season.
All the money raised this evening goes directly towards paying our team expenses, so whether it's billet costs, travel expenses, season tickets, all that sort of stuff, all the money gets kept within the team.
The Bobcats raised over $100,000 that evening. Congratulations to them. Held wearing those nice third jerseys for the 30th anniversary of the club. The jerseys will be worn tomorrow night in their home opener versus the Bonneville Pontiacs. The unis also commemorate the teams before the Bobcats, the Lloydminster Blazers, and the Lancers as well. The team also announced their team captain, and this year it's Casey Knight. Head coach Ryan Parent says picking Knight was a no-brainer.
I think he exemplifies what we want to be. We want to be a hard-working team, you know, that plays tough, you know, that's mentally tough, and that leads by example.
I'm really glad that they decided to pick me, and I've worked hard to become a leader on this team over the past 3 years, and looking forward to having a good season with the fellas, and I just want to be the guy that they know they can go and ask anything, and I'll try my best to help them.
Last night, the Evening of Champions was capped off by former NHL players Gary Lehman, Russ Courtnall, and Wendell Clark. The trio would play at the Junior A level for the Notre Dame Hounds before reuniting in the NHL, taking the league by storm, earning the nickname the Hound Line. Gary Lehman, Wendell Clark, and Russ Courtnall formed one of the most exciting lines in hockey during the mid-'80s, each member adding something different in the way they played.
I was, probably more the physical, fighting, shoot, ask questions later. Russ was the speedster, playmaker, flash and dash, excitement with that kind of roadrunner type energy. And Gary was, he was also a playmaker, very smart with the puck, great skater.
Both Gary and Wendell would be drafted as defensemen, but the Leafs had other thoughts in mind.
I played defense my whole life until training camp, and got to training camp and they said you're forward, and those were the line mates.
I had played forward in both junior and growing up. So when Wendell and Russ came, the idea of putting the Hound Line together, it was a good fit.
We knew we were going to play on the same team, but we had no idea that we were going to be a line, because a lot of people forget Gary was a second-round pick as a defenseman, and Wendell was the first pick overall as a defenseman. I was a forward.
The trio instantly clicked. The team's high-flying offense captivated the city of Toronto.
It was like a glorified junior team. We were all a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds. I wasn't even legal when we were hanging out. Russ was 19 and Gary was 20. So it was a very young group of guys.
The line had a little bit of everything, and we had a lot of Wendell, and so he was really, he took the city by storm himself, and we kind of tagged along for the ride.
The Hound Line didn't stay intact at all times. Wendell had his bouts with injuries. Russ would eventually be traded, and a few years later, Gary would be dealt as well. Despite playing for a short amount of time, the bond they had and the memories they formed still last, even if they disagree on a few things.
I was doing all the back checking on that line, okay?
I don't know, his memory's a little foggy. He's been hit a few times in the head.
Well, that's his point of view. You probably all have different points of view, but Russ and I being younger, we probably didn't regard it as highly on our totem pole as he did.
All right, certainly a great group of guys, fun to talk to last night. Now, with a week till the current CBA expires, the NHL and the NHLPA have continued talks earlier today. Whether a deal could be reached by September 15th, who knows? Both Russ Courtnall and Wendell Clark weighed in on the issue.
We don't know the inner workings of the NHL, but as a group, they're doing really well. So I worry that if we have another lockout, that it's really going to hurt a lot of those new fans that are just going to walk away from the game and never come back. So I think they're walking on thin ice.
It was a great time for Los Angeles winning the Cup. A lot of the South teams in the playoffs, which is great strength for the league, that they're showing the game at its best to areas when they're trying to create new fans and get people to love the game. So I think we're at a strong point in the game right now as fans. So hopefully this doesn't set us back that way overall.
The Lakeland Rustlers men's and women's soccer teams begin their regular season tomorrow at the VLA soccer pitches in Lloydminster. This is the third season of the soccer program at the college. The team has increased its training in the off-season this summer, hoping to start the year on a stronger note.
Well, both squads are better than they were last year, definitely. We've had some training weekends. Hopefully the results will, justify the extra work that we put in.
Both the men and women play Red Deer College. Wagner expects the game to predict how well the Rustlers will be this season.
Just with the competition level, I think it'll indicate how close we are or how big of steps we've taken in the last year.
The ladies play at 2 o'clock on Saturday. The men follow up at about 4:20. Now it's week 2 in the Wheatland Football League, and the St. Paul Lions are looking to follow up on a record performance. But as Clayton Brown explains, if they want to continue their perfect start, they'll have to do something the Lions haven't been able to do before.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1.
The St. Paul Lions season opener was a night like no other. They set a team record scoring 75 points in one game, but they're taking it all in stride.
It's hard to explain what happened there, but we're happy about it. We played well, obviously, and we're not sure. We don't want to attach really any meaning to it other than that it was a win, which we're happy about.
My O-line it's a big part. It wasn't all me, obviously, and my receivers blocking, like everyone was just blocking, so it helped a lot and just had a good game.
St. Paul will have their hands full tonight as they take on the Holy Rosary Raiders, a team the Lions have never been able to beat.
Holy Rosary, they're always tough. We know they've got some terrific players, you know, really good quarterback, some other really good players. They're going to be solid all over the place.
Despite a 50-point victory in the season opener, the team says it won't be hard to refocus for tonight's big game.
There's no way we're going to be overconfident. This is a team we've never beaten, and they're also the champions. We feel we're probably the underdogs going in.
We got to key on some of their players to shut them down, and I think if we do that, we could stop their offense.
In St. Paul, Clayton Brown, Newcap Sports.